Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to start working on some winter containers. These are the first two I want to work on. We've got to clean these out. You can see that we still have some fall stuff going on, mixed in with the Christmas stuff we just got done yesterday. We got the garland hung with the bows and the garland around the door with the wreaths and the new pillows up there. It's just looking so clean and fresh and festive. And these are just covered in leaves. We're going to take our Halloween-esque branches out. The kale is going to go to the chicken coop, so they're going to be able to feast. And we're just going to clean them out to bare dirt. We're going to use the soil that's already in there because we're just going to be using some fresh greens. And we'll take the pumpkins to the chickens as well. And I think we'll just do one at a time. There's 4 up here. We'll just kind of meter those out for the chickens every day so they can have some fresh treats. So I have 3 different types of fresh cut green here. We've got noble fir boughs. I love the smell and they're so soft. And I prefer buying the boughs, which most of the boughs that are in this box are actually bigger than this because they provide such a big bulk for our containers and you don't need a lot of them to create big impact. And then we've got some princess pine, which is just a beautiful texture. It looks a little bit more soft, a little bit more drapey. Some of them are more drapey than others, but I like that blue-green color that it has. And then we've got incense cedar, which I only ordered 1 box. I'm kind of kicking myself. I wish I would have ordered 1 more, but this just provides a little pop of color with those gorgeous seed heads. And again, this one's got a little bit more drape, so really good for the edges, like spilling out of a container. And then do you guys remember these? These are our sphere topiaries, and I'm going to bring them out of retirement. They have been in our barn for a while now. I used to use them in holiday arrangements. It's been like maybe 4 years, maybe. Yeah, because Benjamin was walking, but he was young the last time I remember doing a holiday arrangement around these, but I thought this would be a really pretty simple centerpiece. Now these greens I ordered through my parents' garden center, which you can check with your local garden center. A lot of them, if they stay open year round, or at least through the holidays, they will carry fresh greens or they'll have the ability to order them for you. You can also check with your local florist. I usually order a lot of stuff through our florist. In fact, I think last year, what did I get? Seeded eucalyptus, magnolia. I've got some a bunch of different things. I can't remember off the top of my head. I even ordered some branches, some beautiful dogwood branches. So those are really good resources if you don't have anything to gather from your own yard, which I'm hoping one day all of our evergreens just get big and beautiful and we can start harvesting from our own stuff. But this is it. I did not order any specialty stuff from the florist. I just kind of wanted some simple, clean containers this year. That's what I was in the mood for. These are just so gorgeous. I wonder if we should feed the purplish ones to the chickens and maybe try to save these, because wouldn't these look amazing in a Christmas arrangement? Like a cut flower arrangement. We could just strip the leaves off the stalk and pop this in almost like a big hydrangea bloom or something. That would be neat. So honestly, this afternoon, I'm just hoping to get those 2 containers done. If we have time, I do want to take the corn stalks out of the center of these pots along our east side. So right in here, plants are still looking awesome. But the hydrangeas, brown hydrangeas, and the corn stalks are kind of making them look very fall. I don't know how frozen they are. It got down to 18 degrees this morning. Okay, so we'll clean them up a little bit better than that. But that right there, this was the intention, to take out the fall stuff and maybe go into the back of the dirt lands over there and cut some of the willow branches and just pop a few branches in here. We'll do that if we have time. Well, I'm going to have to clean out the rest of them, otherwise I'm going to have one that looks different from the rest. So as long as we get that far, I'll be happy. All right, guys, we're just going to be in clean out mode for a second, and then we'll just start constructing these things. I think this is going to be a quick and easy project. Okay, well, cleanup went pretty fast. Benjamin popped out here and helped me a bit. And here's our load. I need to go deal with this before we take after putting the pots together, and I need to grab our leaf blower as well so I can kind of clean up the area right around the pots. But I think I'm going to try to get into this and pot these and possibly pot up the Dusty Miller as well. I mean, there's leaves and junk on them, but they're perfectly happy plants. And they do really well in our greenhouse. Okay, so let's go do that real quick, and then we'll come back and decorate. Okay. All right, guys, for the cabbage, since they're so tall and I only need to pot them for a short amount of time, we've got some broken totes right here that would act as a really good interim planter. It'll allow the water to, drain, but it'll hold our cabbage, I think, a little bit more upright. And I'm gonna kind of jam them in here together. We'll see how it goes. Okay, here are the Dusty Miller. I need to spend a little bit more time cleaning them up, but that can wait for another day. They've been potted. I put some biotone in the soil and they're watered in, so they should be happy. And here are all the cabbage. So I think there was, like 12 rosettes here that came out in individual root balls. And then this one came out in one root ball with these 3 attached. But this is what I'm talking about. You can strip all the leaves from here down, cut a really nice, long, sturdy stem, and then you've got this beautiful rosette you can work in, like with amaryllis and other things. Oh, so pretty. And I know this isn't the best looking container, but you know what? It's very practical, functional for this, in this case, rather. We're just needing a place to keep them for maybe a couple of weeks, and then we will start using off of them and maybe even use them into January, depending on how they do in here. It'll be interesting to see because, like I said, it was 18 this morning and it's been really cold. And I notice some plants when they've been out in the cold, and these are tough plants, these kale and the Dusty Miller, but sometimes when you bring them into a warmer environment, like right away, they can kind of a little bit because they actually prefer it to be kind of on the chilly side, which is the nice thing about them. But we'll just see how they do. I would rather try to keep them over because they are nice plants still, and see how it goes, and we can learn from it. Get my coffee. We need to stop off at the chickens next with the extra kale, and then back to our containers. Here we go, girls. Get you some pumpkin. Here's a pumpkin for you. Whoa. Now, what do you think? Containers are done. I love how they turned out. Now, I did put Christmas lights in them, well, fairy lights. They're the ones on copper wire that plug in. Gardener Supply sent them out to us probably 4 or 5 years ago, and we've gotten a lot of use out of them. So a mix of greens in these containers, just so classic and simple and fresh looking. I love it. You can see around each one of the arms, which there are 8, I coiled the fairy lights around them, and I love the fairy lights for how just easy to manipulate they are and how flush they are. They're just so clean looking. And I did end up with extra that I just kind of puddled in the center. We're gonna have to come out here and see how they look at night to see if we need to do any adjusting. I did end up with quite a bit more on the end of this one than I did on this one, which makes me think that this sphere is going to be much brighter. It looks like I have a lot more like toward the top of this one, and it may not even matter. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. So I started off with our fir layer first and just kind of popped those in, and then I went in with the incense cedar and went around the edge first and then popped a few in the center and then just added some pine in as accent. So they are all nested down in the soil. So at this point we can give them a little bit of water, and tonight it's supposed to be 19 degrees. So they'll all freeze into place, at least for now. I mean, we have some days on our forecast coming up that are in the 50s in December. So they'll thaw out for sure during that. But typically when we water them in at this point, they will freeze together and stay put all winter long. But I did sink the stems quite a distance down in the soil, so they should be anchored and good to go for the season. I did have to trench a little bit in the gravel to get this one lit. There is no plug-in anywhere nearby that one right there. There's usually lights on the boxwoods that I'm able to easily tap into the end and plug that container in, whatever I end up doing in that container. This one is plugged into an outlet that's just over there by the hose menagerie. So what we did is we plugged it all together in here, and the cord comes out, goes underneath the gravel, and it's all tacked in with landscape staples, and then it pops up right here and goes behind this pot so that this one can be lit. Okay, so I don't think I have enough time to actually go cut branches for these east side pots, but I think we'll run along the lane there and get at least the corn stalks cleaned out. So let's get that done, and then that's gonna wrap up this afternoon's projects anyway. I do still intend on popping greens in the window boxes on both sides. We'll do that one of these days. I might just see what other projects we end up doing, and then with whatever greens we have left over, I'll just pop them in. I'm not gonna do any branches or anything like that in those, I don't think, either, unless I get a wild hair, which I do get sometimes. And there we are for today. Corn stalks removed. We'll come along and do the branches here a different day. And that's it, you guys, for today. Just 2 containers really that are complete, but I'm really happy with getting those cabbage and Dusty Miller potted up so we can use them either for a cut flower arrangement or for another winter arrangement. I love having multiple different things in there that I can utilize for, you know, whatever kind of comes up. And we're just slowly removing fall things. We still have corn stalks up by the flower shed. There's still a pumpkin here and there, but you know, the weather has been so warm, and it just feels like fall has been really long this year. It doesn't really feel like, I mean, it feels like Christmas is coming, but not in a way. And I love having that relaxed feel. Some years I feel like that push just to get so much done so quickly, and this year it's just been kind of a slow, chill process, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I will pop back out this evening and see if I can get some footage of what those containers look like when it's dark out. I think they're going to be really pretty. Here comes Benjamin. I love how he just pops in and out whenever he's free. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Woo! All right, guys, it's dark enough to see our handiwork. Look at those spheres. They look amazing. And I was wondering if the color temperature was going to be a little bit warmer on those lights, but they match really nicely. They look great. This whole side of the house just looks so dang festive. I am loving it. Let's get a close-up here. So pretty. And there's Benjamin at the door. I don't know if you can see him with all the reflection. And sphere number 2. So perfect. Love these.